Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Help in English channel. Today we continue the educational sessions dedicated to business English, namely idioms and phrasal verbs. And in this teaching session, we are going to learn some more of the idioms and phrasal verbs, hopefully to keep our vocabularies enhancing. So let's have a look at those. And today I prepared 7 new idioms for your attention. And by default, as always, I have 5 new phrasal verbs to share with you today. And hopefully you can incorporate those into your active vocabulary. If you have already noticed, there are 2 weeks of interruptions between the sessions on idioms and phrasal verbs. So just enough time for you to incorporate this vocabulary. Okay, and to hopefully activate it. So the first idiom I have prepared for you today is to bring something or somebody to its knees. And what's the meaning of this one? And the meaning is to almost ruin somebody or something. To bring something to its knees. Let's have a look at its use in a context. The political problems and external debts brought the country to its knees. Next one, to take to one's heels. To take to one's heels. What does that mean? To disappear quickly by running off. Just to escape. To disappear quickly by running off. So the use in the context is the following. The thieves took to their feet while trying to get away from the police. Pretty easy to understand, isn't it? The next idiom for today is not to have a leg to stand on. Not to have a leg to stand on. And what does that mean? Not to have any defense. Not to have any, to be very weak, not to have any backup, let's say, right? And the use in the context is the following. If you don't get prepared to the client presentation in 1 week, you won't have a leg to stand on during the meeting, meaning that you will have nothing to support you. Next one, to keep one's hand in. To keep one's hand in. What is the meaning of this one? To keep in practice so as to remain good at something. Just to stay, let's say, professional in something, to stay up to date with something. So let's have a look at the context. John has retired as a CEO, but decided to stay a business advisor just to keep his hand in. Let's say just not to lose his professional training or professional background. Next one, to win something hands down. To win something hands down. What's the meaning of this? And it's to win something very easily, not to, let's say, very easily without any extra effort. And let's have a look at the context. One of the participants of the presidential primaries won the debates, his hands down, meaning that he didn't even have to bother a lot or to apply a lot of effort. A strong stomach. What's the meaning of that one? Pretty self-explanatory in my view. To be able to bear something not necessarily food. And what's the context? Let's have a look at the context. So you need to have a strong stomach to read those police reports. There's a lot of violence described there. There is a lot of, so you have to be quite strong to withstand that. And the last idiom for today is this one. To fall head over heels in love. I assume this one is pretty popular, so I wouldn't be surprised if you know it already by now. To fall head over heels in love means to suddenly be completely in love with somebody. And let's look at the use in the context. When he saw Melanie, he fell head over heels in love with her charming face and lovely voice. Okay, so now let's have a look at the phrasal verbs. The phrasal verbs that I prepared to you. To bring something in, to bring something in. The meaning of this phrasal verb is to get somebody involved in something, to help or advise. Our board, the example is our board of directors is planning to bring in the new team of managers. Okay, not very difficult, basically, to understand. Next phrasal verb for today is bring something out. Well, you see, one preposition, absolutely different meaning. Let's have a look at the meaning. To produce and sell a new product. Wow, absolutely not related in terms of meaning to the previous phrasal verb, right? So, to produce and sell a new product. Let's have a look at the example. Looks like this company brings out a new product every year. So to bring something out. And my dear friends, I would really, really encourage you to write your own examples with the phrasal verbs. This is one of the ways how you're going to apply those and you can activate them. Without practical application, it makes no sense learning. So you learn and then you write your own sentences just to try to create them off the top of your head. And it would be absolutely wonderful and awesome if you could leave those examples in the commentaries to this video. So the next phrasal verb I'm going to give you today is bring something up. You see a lot of phrasal verbs with the verb to bring. Bring something up. What's the meaning of that one? To start talking about something. To start talking about something. And the example is, every time I try to bring this issue up, they are changing the subject. Okay? The next one is build something up. So to build something up. What's the meaning? To create or develop something. So the example, she built her business up gradually from scratch. So meaning created, right? And the next and the last one for today's teaching session, burnout. Burnout. Very business related phrasal verb, to be honest with you. So to become extremely tired or sick by working too hard for a long period of time. For example, this job is really stressful. Many employees burn out and quit. That's the end of the material that I wanted to present to you during this teaching session. And I do hope that you can leave your examples using the idioms that you have learned in this teaching session, plus the phrasal verbs. Don't forget, it's very important to activate that. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to learn it and to remember and memorize that material. So please don't forget to put your like, subscribe, and have a nice day, everybody. Bye-bye.